We're in the kitchen cooking some braised short ribs. I got about 5 pounds of short ribs. I'm using some steak and chop seasoning. Get that meat coated very well. Now I'm using a Dutch oven pot and I'm adding some avocado oil to that pot. I'm only going to brown these on each 4 sides for about 2 to 3 minutes. And I'm cooking these in batches. You don't want to overcrowd it when you're trying to get that brown seared on there. Look at that. Got a nice little browning on it right there. Like I said, we're cooking some braised short ribs, and these are going in the oven for 2.5 hours at 300 degrees. So make sure you got that oven preheated at 300 degrees. Coming out very well. Look at that right there. Now we're going to cook, like I said, I'm cooking this in batches. Now, took all the meat out. Now that stuff on the bottom, that is not burnt. That's just the seasoning. Now we're going to saute these onions just a little, and I'm adding some red wine. You can use broth, you can use water, but the only liquid I'm using is red wine. We're going to deglaze that pot, get that nice and deglazed, and that also will cook off that alcohol. Once you get it all nice and deglazed, go ahead and add all your meat back to the pot. Don't have to worry about those onions. Those onions just going to be very nice and tender later on. Oven is already preheated at 300 degrees. Now once you get all your meat in there, you can stack it on top. It's not going to hurt anything. We're going to add some more wine. And like I said before, you can add whatever kind of liquid you want to add. You don't want to cover it all the way to the top. You want to bring it right there to where I left it at, that meat level. Put that in the oven. 2.5 hours later, at 300 degrees. Oh my goodness. Braised short ribs looking good. They tender. You don't want them to be just taken apart, all that. You want them to still have a bite to it. So once you get all those out the pot, it's time to get some of this oil and fat out of the pot, because you don't want to have that in your gravy. So we're going to bring the gravy up to a little boil, trying to make it a little thick. Now I'm using some cornstarch slurry just to make it a little thicker. You don't have to put gravy over the meat, but we using mashed potatoes as a side. Now after you get that, look at that right there. You can eat that meat right now if you want. You can eat it right out that pot right now. But as you can see, we done. We is done. Subscribe if you like what you see. Can't go wrong. Braised short ribs and mashed potatoes from scratch.